Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English with me, your host, Mr. Z. In 2011, Porsche already introduced the Porsche 991, the newest generation of the 911. In LA last year, they showed the GTS, the 911 GTS for the first time as a coupe or convertible with manual transmission, or the PDK with rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. And at the NIAS this year, early this year, they presented the Targa version of the GTS, so we can buy all three different body sets with the GTS option. Well, looking at the price list, you kind of wonder, what is this GTS for? What is it? It's not really special, so why did they introduce it anyway? Just a personal opinion in front of our review. There's just 4 points that separate this car from being my personal, all-over perfect dream car. First of all, the ashtray is too small. Second, the infotainment system is kind of outdated. Third, the engine takes a little while to get warmed up. And fourth, is probably as unimportant as all the other 3 points before, so I just forgot it. As you can tell, this is already the best car I have personally driven so far. But you're here watching Ausfahrt.tv, and so we treat this car like any other car. So let's start with our regular review. The Porsche 991 comes, of course, with a rear engine, so it is a real 911. However, our test car is a 911 Carrera 4 GTS, so the 4 stands for the PTM, the Porsche Traction Management, which means that our test car comes with 4-wheel drive, but you can order it with rear-wheel drive as well and save some bucks. Our test car has a PDK, but you can save some bucks ordering the 7-speed manual transmission. And our friend Guido the Gatewayer, who has a neat YouTube channel as well, he introduced you the 7-speed manual transmission and was really happy with it. So you might want to check in his clip as well. So the GTS is the most powerful Porsche you can get with a manual transmission. Well, unfortunately, you hardly see the beauty, the heart of the 911 here, of the 911 GTS. And either way, if all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, if manual or automatic transmission, it's always the same engine. We have this 3.8 liter Boxster in here that is good for 430 horses. It has a maximum torque of 440 Newton meters, which you get between 5,760 and 7,500 RPM. And it is kind of tacky because the regular Carrera S comes with 400 horsepower, and you can get a tuning kit by Porsche, by factory setting even, that gives the Carrera S as much horsepower with this kit. Let me give you the basic facts of the 2015 Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS real quick. Acceleration from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 4 seconds straight, and the top speed is reached at 302 kilometers per hour, which equals 188 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2015 Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS is good for 68 liters or 18 gallons. Porsche claims a fuel consumption of 9.1 liters on 100 kilometers or 25.8 miles per gallon, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 740 kilometers or 460 miles without getting gas. The 911 has a length of 4.1. The 911 GTS has a length of 4.51 meter or 178 inches with a wheelbase of 2.45 meter or 96 inches. Its height is 1.27 meters, so 50 inches, and it is 1.85 meters or 73 inches wide. As of the turn radius, you need at least 11.1 meters or 437 inches of free space. The curb weight is 1,490 kilograms or 3,285 pounds. The admissible total weight is 1,895 kilograms, equals 4,178 pounds. So the question is, what is a GTS? What is it good for? I mean, it is a little bit stronger than the Carrera S, but what really is it? My personal opinion, the product manager just sat together and they were thinking like, oh, what are we gonna do? You know, we need something new. Well, let's do a best of 911. A best of Porsche 911, and that's, we just call it GTS. Okay, and if you look close, at least the Porsche friends and fans should recognize the front bumper, which is shaped in a different way than the Carrera S1, because this one comes from the Aero kit. So as part of the factory setting, the Porsche GTS comes with these big xenon lights, which are darkened around, and they have this Porsche dynamic light system with them, so in relation to your speed and the angle of the steering wheel, it puts the light right into the corners. As an option, you can get this car as well with full LED headlights, and then you get this well, I always say matrix, the Audi thing, but you can drive with full beam all the time because the upcoming traffic or the traffic ahead of you is spared out from the high beams. So you might recognize those 20-inch alloy wheels because maybe you have watched our Porsche 911 Turbo S review. So far, Porsche just delivered those alloys with the Porsche Turbo or Turbo S, and now they're available and part of the standard setting for the GTS. You can order the GTS as well with a ceramic carbon braking system. However, our test car comes with the factory settings that you recognize by the red paint, and you have 340 millimeters braking disc. By factory settings, the GTS comes with PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management, so the suspension can be adjusted electronically, and it is 10 millimeters more on the ground by factory setting already. By the way, the GTS badge here on the side, you can, well, it's actually just a sticker, so you can rub it off or just tell Porsche you don't want it. The color of our test car is called Rhodium Silver Metallic, and it's one of 7 metallic tones you can order as paint. You have 4 colors that you can order without paying extra. That's black, white, red and yellow. And you have 4 more colors, so special colors, and my favorite one is lava orange. I just love this side view and the fenders that come out so wide. Porsche fans, they know that the GTS comes with a wide body chassis, so it sticks out, or it's 4.4 centimeters wider than the regular Carrera models, and actually only the Carrera 4, so the all-wheel drive Carreras, were supposed to have the wide body, and even the GTS with rear-wheel drive comes with a wide body chassis now, and I think it's the most beautiful one that Porsche has built off the Porsche 991. Just so you get an idea, we have Pirelli P0, so the high performance tires of Pirelli on this car. In the front 245, in the back 305. So how do you recognize a GTS from the back except the big lettering here, Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS? Well, a German blogger pointed out that this black thing here where you have high glossy paint on the tips was already used with the anniversary model of the 911, the 50-year anniversary model. Well, I didn't know, I couldn't tell either. And with the GTS you have those 4 exit pipes, which comes by factory setting with the electronic flaps, so you can drive this car really decent or really loud. But the 4 exit pipes, they're in black chrome. And the rear lights come with full LED, and as well you have this little braking light up there as well in LED. Of course, the Porsche 991 comes with frameless windows, and the door opens about 75 degrees. Besides, we have an entry here with a nice Carrera 4 GTS badge in carbon fiber look. Well, getting in the 911 is much easier than getting out, I can tell you, but even getting out, when you stop the engine, the seat goes back automatically, electrically a little bit, so you can get out easier, and even the steering wheel is driving up just a little bit. I can reach the door, okay, it's not very heavy. And here I am inside, and I don't want to get out again. So sitting inside the Porsche Carrera 4 GTS is just sitting on a cloud in heaven, I guess. I totally enjoy it. Starting with all the fine materials, you find leather, carbon fiber applications and Alcantara wherever you touch the car. In the door panels we have Alcantara, the roof is covered with Alcantara, and the rest is just leather, and just awesome. It's just plain awesome. I love it. I like it. I feel really good. I have enough space for my head. I can sit here with my 180 centimeters, so 5'11", very comfortable. Had no problems at all finding my right sitting position. And even Toby, my turn-in, who is 195 centimeters, so 6'5" tall, he was able to find a good sitting position here as well, so no problems even for taller people to drive the 911. The center console is not really facing me, which is kind of unusual for a driver-oriented car, because it is a sports car, so everything should be driver focused and oriented. But telling you the truth, I hardly use the PCM, the Porsche Communication Management System here. And yeah, you have a bunch of buttons and all that, but you hardly need it. All you need is the stick for the automatic transmission and the buttons right here, and I could find them blind, so everything is just in place. And I love it. Besides that, it is a tiny sport car, sort of, but still, due to the fact that the windscreen is going down to the very front a lot, you have this wide space here, and it gives you the feeling that you have a lot of space. And even with Toby sitting next to me, I never had the feeling that I was sitting in a tight car, even if you don't have much space in here. But it's just fine and feels just all right. Okay, let's go through. You can't adjust the seat belts in height, but it is not only black but has silver stripes on the side, and you have enough belt to buckle up even if you're a little bigger than I am. The seats we have in here are electric powered, so you can find your right position using all the switches on the side of the seat. By the way, it's heated, and you can heat them up in 3 intensities. The seats itself, they're covered with Alcantara, and the sides are with real leather. By the way, you can adjust the side support as well on the cushion as on for your back electrically as well. So you can really find a position where you are really pressed into the seat, so even doing curves in high speed, you don't scoot around at all. and I've driven this car for 500 kilometers straight, so I had no problems with my back at all. I can even say those seats are pretty comfortable. The steering wheel is to be adjusted electrically as well, so you can drive it all the way in. It was out all the way. I drive it in now, and you can see it is not very fast. Going out again. It is, however, covered with Alcantara, so even you get sweaty hands while driving, you always have a good grip. So that's the very low, and again the very top. So I think I found my perfect sitting position here. Toby did, so should everyone else. You have no switches on the steering wheel, just this nice alloy here, and in between there are two little displays on the right side. Once you activate launch control, it's eliminated here. On the other side, you have Sport or Sport Plus. Sport Plus comes with a factory setting in the GTS, so you have the Sport Plus button here as well. It's part of the Chrono package, and this is comes with the GTS by factory setting. We have the shifting pedals, and they are pretty big, so even you have no problems finding them, and they feel like they are out of metal, probably alloy. They feel nice and cold, and there's no problem. You don't reach them at all. So since you don't have buttons on the steering wheel itself, you have two down here. So two additional buttons. The one on the left side is for the Distronic. No, I'm sorry, that's Mercedes. It's for the ACC, so the adaptive cruise control. And on the right side, the switch is for the board computer. So you have everything on your hand. You can't really control the infotainment system over the steering wheel, which is kind of sad because, you have to push down here. But I've driven the car now around 800, almost 900 kilometers, and I hardly paid attention to the infotainment system. So once you put your route in the GPS system, that's all you want to do, because otherwise you just want to listen to the engine and enjoy your ride with a sporty car. Okay, we have two mirrors outside, of course, and you can see the ass of the 911 GTS, which is just beautiful. So you tend to look more in the rear mirrors, as you really have to, because it just looks neat. However, they're big enough, even they are small sporty mirrors, they're big enough to watch what's going on behind you. The mirror in the car here is a little bit too small, so you can't see the full window. You just see a little bit, and since in the back it's going pretty high, you hardly see very much from the back. It's enough for the highway, for the Autobahn, but once you're in the city and you want to drive into a parking spot, you better have the rear camera, whose picture or which picture is not really crisp, not very good, but it's good enough to see where you're driving. And I hardly recommend this rear camera for the Porsche 911. Turning my head, it's okay. I have a B-pillar that I'm watching once I watch over my shoulder, but still I have the feeling that I see enough. Same over the right. I have a pretty big C-pillar, and hardly can see anything through the rear window. But for most traffic situation in the city on the Autobahn, I thought this was just fine and okay. Besides, as I said, in the city you rather want to use a rear camera for parking. Excuse me. So, what else there is? We don't have an ambient light. All we have is a little LED band right here that is illuminated with white light, very decent at nighttime. And we don't have a sunroof, but you can order the GTS Coupe, of course, with a sunroof as well. And the honk is right in the middle here and sounds like that. So even this is a sporty car, let's look what we have in terms of compartments. In the door panel we have even two. One in the front, very tight, where you can at least put your wallet and some keys. And below we have a little flap that we can push down. And in between there's even place for this half-a-liter bottle. Under this carbon fiber application, we can push it, and below there you find the cup holders or the bottle holders. And I think that's pretty much the biggest thing you should put in there. However, you have one for the driver, of course, and one for the passenger. And I didn't use them, of course, because it's disturbing my sense of, aesthetics. So the whole middle, we don't have anything besides. The first one comes here. Here's a little ashtray, even illuminated, very small. You don't want to smoke in this car, not even as a strong smoker, I guess. But we have a 12-volt a cigarette lighter in here, and you can close this a little flap as well. The armrest in the center you can open. You can scoot it forward, you can adjust it in height. Here we have a little compartment with an anti-slip surface, another 12-volt outlet, and that is already it. We have a gloves compartment, and in the gloves compartment a third, so number 3, 12-volt outlet, and below an USB port for the infotainment system, and even an aux in or line in. Besides, there's not very much space for anything else in the compartment except the board material and 2 warning vests. Yes, a lot of Porsche drivers are women, and even as a male, my beard needs some stuff every once in a while. So we have makeup mirrors in both sides. They're illuminated on the sides with LED lights. And we even have this little clip for your parking ticket or whatever. You find reading lights for the driver and the passenger with LED lights as well. And you can disable the whole light with one switch here as well. And that's pretty much it from the front row. Let's look for the back row. Just a side note, we have a CD slot for the PCM right here, and there's even a slot for a SIM card, so everything is right here except the USB port. Well, I would say no grown-up is stupid enough to really try to climb back in the 911. However, we are Ausfahrt.tv and we are stupid enough. So, I am 5'11", 180 centimeters tall, and I can even buckle up. I have no head space, I have no leg space, but I can even imagine sitting here, for 10 kilometers or 10 miles or whatever. Yeah, but it's no fun. I can tell you, however, that normal grown kids up to 12 years can sit in the back all right. Well, of course, the younger they are, the better it works for you. You have ISOFIX on both sides here, and the door locks are even stable, so they can buckle lock themselves. And if we check the length of the seat belts, you might even be able to, really fix a child seat in here or a baby shell. However, we have one compartment here, tiny one, anti-slip surface. We have hooks for a jacket on both sides as well as on the back of the seats in the front. And the most interesting part, of course, is that you can flip the backrest here on both sides, which gives you a quite comfortable luggage compartment. So even our tripod case, which is 1 meter wide, fits in here just fine. So I was coming to the clue that the Porsche 911 is the perfect car for me, because I get all my equipment in here. I can even drive the kids to school with this car easily. So I it's really my car, actually. It is. Okay, here you have this little hook and you can release it and flip the backrest of the back seats. You have to the windscreen back there around 20 centimeters. This part right here, where you have two hooks even, or two things to screw things, to hook things up, whatever, is around 45 centimeters deep. And you have around 94 centimeters, so some luggage parts might fit in here. Once you have flipped this part, you have around 1 meter of space in wide or width, and it's around 37 centimeters deep here. And of course, you can flip the things back once you want to store your luggage in the back row. I really like, or I even love, I'd say love, the key of the 911, which is pretty much the same from the Panamera. However, I like how they put the key in the shape of the car somehow, or this, Porsche shape. You have inside a little switch as well as on the key to open the trunk, which is of course in the front as the engine is in the back. And it opens pretty easy. And even we just have space here for 125 liters or 4 cubic foot of luggage. This IATA trolley fits in here with ease, and not only one of them, but two. You can store 2 trolleys easily inside this luggage compartment. Besides, once you want to put this in, so you have to lift it around 70 centimeters up, and it goes around 45 centimeters down. Then you have a depth here of around 40 centimeters, and it's around 70 centimeters wide. Besides, there's a rescue kit or the emergency kit, and here's even the warning triangle. And if you need to refill the water for the windscreen system, this is right here. Yeah, that's it. So in addition to the storing facilities on the back row, I think you have enough space at least for 2 people, even to go on holiday. Before I take you to my little test drive and give you my driving impressions, I might say or add that you can load up to 405 kilos in the Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS, which equals 893 pounds. And I say, let's go. Okay, so coming to the driving impressions, and I could all say it in just one sentence. I enjoyed every second in this car. Driving is just fun. Regardless if you're driving in the city, this is even fun because the car has so much rest comfort while you drive in normal that you can drive it like a daily driver without, hurting your back in any way. Yes, if you drive through potholes, of course you feel it. It's not a soft suspension, it's a stiff suspension. Still, it gives you so much rest comfort that it's joy to drive even in the city. It takes the engine quite a while to warm up. So if you're driving a lot of short distance routes in the city, it's kind of sad because the engine won't get warmed up enough so you can really use it. And it takes quite some fuel while driving with a cold engine. Besides that, once you hit the country roads, and that's where this car has its full potential, once you drive on the country road through curves, you can realize so high curve speeds that's just sheer unbelievable. And the car sits on the streets like there's no tomorrow, like it's glued. except the forward speed just goes and it runs and runs. It has this PCCM, the Porsche Chassis Control Management, and it comes with a PTV Plus system in combination with the PDK, so you have the Porsche torque vectoring, so the inner wheels get slowed down while you get more torque to the wheels of the outer side of the curve. This all helps you, well, the PCCM helps you, the car from, jungling around, and the PTV helps you even with higher speeds. And overall you have the PASM, so the Porsche Active Suspension Management, and this all together enables you so fun curve speeds. Even when you drive on a highway, you have like almost 360 degree curves. You can go through there. That's just sheer unbelievable. I always start like driving slowly to get used to the car, and then speed on and on and on, and try and I reached my personal limit before I think the car reaches its limit. It's really sheer unbelievable. You only have 430 horsepower only, but in comparison to a McLaren, for instance, or to a Nissan GTR, you don't have so much horsepower, but the power is always there when you need it. I had not even thinking about it, a situation where I thought, well, I could need a little bit more power. Maybe except accelerating just from 0 to 300 kilometers per hour, the very rest from 275 kilometers on, it's getting a little, slower than the acceleration. But besides that, especially if you go in Sport Plus, you have the power right on your foot tip, and it's so much fun. Besides that, the PDK just shifts seamless while you have it in normal mode. Once you activate Sport Plus, it gives you a little kick in the back whenever you shift, but that's the way we want it, right? We want to have the car kick us a little bit once it shifts while we are driving sporty. The steering itself is just perfect, very nice and direct. While driving in the city, it's very easy to maneuver into parking spots with the help of the rear camera, of course. And overall, the Porsche 911 GTS is a silent runner even, You always hear the engine, yes, but you can have, even driving 200 kilometers per hour, you can have a normal conversation. But once you hit the switch for the flaps, the sound gets really, really cool. And while you drive in sport, it's more like a, deep rolling. While you put it in Sport Plus, it's more a hissing, an aggressive hissing. And especially when you accelerate, through the gears, it sounds like, to me, at least to my ears, like this hissing starts on the right side of the car and wanders while you accelerate to the left side, and then you shift and starts at the right side again. And it's, you start smiling like an idiot immediately once you accelerate and you hear the sound coming to you. It's just, it's really amazing. By the way, the shifting times of the PDK, once you use the shifting pedals, I would even say it shifts before I even hit the pedal. It's really quick, unbelievable. The brakes are just perfect, even we don't have the ceramic carbon system. I was going on the Autobahn 250, we had 3 lanes, and I was encountering, cars, one on the very right lane, one in the center lane, and I was already slowing down, going down to 220, further to 200, because I was seeing that's a situation I can't really control once I'm driving 250. And so this little girl in here, little Beamer, She started pulling from the very right lane to the very left lane with 120 kilometers per hour. Me coming from the back with 220, and I hit the brake, and I didn't even make an emergency brake, but I hit the brake hard, and the car had no problems at all slowing down, so I felt all safe and secure. So this brakes really, amazed me. It's just fun to drive, and the whole package, I'm sorry to say so, but the whole package is just perfect. A word to the fuel consumption. After 900 kilometers, we have like 15.1 liters on 100 kilometers. So that's quite a bit. And I say, if you drive this car sporty all the time, that's where you end up with. But I think if you drive it like a daily driver, normal traffic, and you don't do too much short trips, you get along with 12 liters very well, and you might even get close to 10 or 11. But I think 12 liters on 100 kilometers is a good value you can calculate with. We don't have too many assist systems here. I forgot. We have the chrono package is included with the GTS, so it comes with the GTS. So we don't only have Sport, but Sport Plus, and the PCCM system, of course. And once you go in Sport Plus, the EPS system is kicking in way later than it would be in normal or just Sport. We have a few assist systems in our test car. We don't have a blind spot warner, which I think is kind of sad, especially on the Autobahn, but however, it's okay. We have an adaptive cruise control, which I think it's mandatory nowadays with all the speed limits on the Autobahn. And once you hit the gas pedal, the throttle in this car, the car just jumps forward, And so I'm driving with the ACC all the time whenever I have a speed limit, and that's pretty neat and easy. Besides that, there's a traffic sign recognition, which worked with charm, and that's about it, I guess. So summing it all up, this car is just plain amazing. It's so much fun to drive on country roads as well as on the Autobahn. It's just a pure driving machine which gives you so much daily driver qualities that if there wouldn't be this high price, I would buy it at once. It's just a perfect car, at least in my opinion. Well, that's it. Let me sum up real quick. The driving experience is just superb. You have a lot of rest comfort while just driving in city, downtown, do your random stuff. And once you go on the country roads or on the Autobahn, it's all about sporty driving and fun. Even as a daily driver, I would take this car because with the flexible rear seats, you have enough space for your luggage. I can imagine no problems taking Toby and all our luggage for a 5-day trip in this car with, well, hardly any problems. Fuel consumption. Well, we had a fuel consumption of 15 liters on 100 kilometers during 900 kilometers of driving, a lot of sporty driving, however. My first trip was from Stuttgart up to Bielefeld, around 500 kilometers, where I had 12 liters on 100 kilometers. And I think you can drive this car easily around 12 liters. I don't see the 9.1 liters Porsche pointed out. However, this is my personal dream car. The only thing I can complain about is a price that I can't afford, but that's pretty much my personal problem. So I hope you enjoyed this review, even if it was short. I like to see a thumb up on your side. I feel honored if you share this clip. Make sure, if you're really interested, you watch the clip from Guido the Gatewayer. I put his link down in the description of this video. And tune in next time when it's again Mr. Z presenting you cars. So long and goodbye.